Yeah, on expedition now. When you are in the rural areas of Africa, one of the major things you do is farming. And in most of these communities in Africa, farming is not in the commercial level, it's mostly subsistent. And which means you need to, you know, hike for a very long distance. You do sometimes it takes you close to over 30 miles to get to your farm to process and also to get the farm produce, which you can later sell for cash. You know, and in this part of Africa, there are about three major cash crops. That people focus in. Like you can see on the background, you can see what you're looking at is these are palm trees. Palm produce is a major cash crop in Africa. People get the palm, process it into palm oil, and they sell for great amounts of money. But you see, on this expedition, we will be seeing a different cash crop, which is called cassava. And right now, that's where we are going to. One of the big challenges in most of the African communities and the access to their different farmland is good roads and accessibility. This has formed a major challenge. As you can see, this is an access route to one of the farmland where most of the community dwellers practice subsistence farming. And because of the rainy season, the place is a no-go area. You need to pass through all of these hurdles before you can get to process and the same vein get some cash. You get to see much of these streams. As a farmer, you get to cross, most time you cross a bigger or sometimes a smaller, streams before you can get even a bit closer to your own farmland. Africa is a very blessed continent. We have from the natural resources and also have everything that could make hiking and tourism an amazing experience. If you're having the mindset or the plans to come to Africa, these are the kind of things you will be seeing in most of the rural communities. iAfrica is exploring. I'll take you on a very cool journey to see how cash crops are being processed in the western part of Africa, precisely in the south region of Nigeria. When you visit a typical African market, and you see rural dwellers bidding for prices for their commodities, sometimes it's so hard for you to understand the plight these people go through just to process or to get this cash product from their farms. This short documentary, I believe, will give you a little, explanation or an eye experience of what it is and how it feels to get to your different farmland to process just the right quantity of cassava for sales. We are on a stable joining because this is more like a joining just to get to our center point where we can get this cash product. Man, it's not easy. You need to hike all of this distance before you get to where you're going to. And I can always tag this as one of the criteria for survival in this region of the world, in Africa. Only the strongest survive. If you're not strong enough to take this level of hiking, then it means you cannot process or get to where you're going, and you most definitely may not get the quantity of products for market. So you need to adapt, develop energy in order for you to process the right quantity for market, and we are still on the expedition to show you the different levels and categories of processing the cassava, for marketing. Just keep on washing and get thrilled by the experience of Africa. We are the eye that gives you the right experience, give you the right perspective to the true African experience. The journey continues. We continue the journey to just keep on with us. Earlier I mentioned, streams and all of crossing of streams. This is what you're seeing right now. And I think finally, it seems like we've finally gotten to where we need to be. Oh, the hiking hasn't been easy, but just watch it anywhere. That's why you need to keep watching iAfric TV, so that you can get all the real G's about the true African experience. You can see firsthand, not with fake media reportage of what is not true. I've been hiking for the past, 1 hour, and finally, I've gotten to the point where the processes of getting cassava and also, you know, processing it to the finished product where you take to the market has begun. Just watch carefully. You may have one or two things to learn. This is Africa. Uh, this is cassava coming out fresh from the ground. That's step one of processing. How they call it, Garri, in the southern region of Nigeria in West Africa. Mhm. This is not a very simple task. Not always simple, but it's quite easy when you want to eat it. But it's not easy to get it out from the soil for processing. See this? This is what we did all of the hiking for, just to get this. To get this and begin the different steps of processing a finished product of Garri, which is mostly gotten from cassava. After harvesting, this becomes the next level where you need to get the cassava ready for grinding. You need to peel off the outer shell, the outer skin of the cassava. That's what I'm trying to do. You need to get it off, and after this, you can now carry it back home. Then wash it before grinding. So just keep on this channel. You get to see these because this is what we do. We are iAfrica. We give you the true African experience. Let me a bit concentrate on how to get this skin, this layer out, and have the finish, the ready product for grinding. Now, while one aspect of farming in Africa is the ability to endure whatsoever comes your way, even if the sun is so harsh, so up there in the sky. For you to survive, for you to be able to eat, you need to endure the heat and also have the patience to pass through all the levels and the processes of getting whatsoever you need done. This is one quality and character that has made up the African man to be a very unique creation of God. Now, the patience they have, the ability to endure pain, and also the ability to endure both pain and hardship, and their persistency and commitment towards achieving a set goal makes the African man a unique creation of God. Not just the African man, but the African woman. In Africa, we are completely focused and completely driven by the passion of getting getting the things we want for ourselves, not necessarily depending on help. And this is one aspect where the global media community has refused to report. They've been putting and reporting about the poverty in Africa, but most of them they don't have the time to go into remote areas in Africa to see how much of commitment and hard work the African woman and man put into their survival. At least this documentary will give you, a clear understanding of what we are and what we stand for, not necessarily the narrative that has been going all over social media and also most of the large media houses and news channels. This is what being an African means, especially to me that is an African and to other African spread across the eastern and the western and the southern part of the continent. Like I said earlier, in rural areas, most persons are committed and are focused in subsistence farming, not commercial. And there's a lot of crop rotation going on here in Africa where at a particular time and season, you plant a particular cash crop in a piece of land, but rotate and plant a different one in another season. This way, we can, keep the soil fertile and also good enough for planting, depending on the kind of crop that you want to cultivate. Phase one has been completed. After the peeling, you get to carry the cassava that has been peeled for washing. The life of an African man and African woman. I don't know the name of this flower, but it looks so beautiful. Can't tell the name. Hey, being an African man, they easy. This load heavy.
Anda yang kefe ya. Anda yang ko.
Push. Oh, after the harvest and the process and the peeling of the cassava, the next thing you need to do is to carry it on your head while you start your hiking home. after the harvesting and also the peeling of the cassava, before you go to the grinding process, you need to wash and make sure every dirt and everything that is not clean to be thoroughly washed out of the cassava. That way you can have the products ready for the next phase of processing. The much hiking and the work, getting the cassava ready for processing, it's not always very easy. Usually it is a very tedious job which requires much commitment and concentration for you to be able to get it done at the right time before you get ready to go home. Just can't wait to bathe, get myself clean, and take a nice, you know, nice bowl of meal to get my strength back. Remember, I am Chris Sam, and this is iAfric TV, always sharing the best African experience and telling you what it is to be an African in the right perspective. Keep on this channel. If you are not following us, just hit on the follow up button and become part of the channel, and click on your notification button so that you will get to know firsthand when we have one of our adventures uploaded. Thank you.